Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your roundup, your review of another match day at the 22 World Cup in Qatar, and we've got 4 games to get through. Were there shocks? There was one, I have to say, there is one. It does count, I think, as a shock, but apart from that, everything else went pretty straightforward. Let's start off with the shock, because the shock came on early in the morning. Before we do though, actually, I want to let you know, this video is brought to you and sponsored by the OneFootball app. Link in the description for all of your footballing latest. Do not forget to check out all the news, all the scores, all the statistics, all the results, all the fixtures. Everything you need to know about the World Cup as it's happening is in the OneFootball app. As well as that, remember, even post-World Cup, if you are based in the UK and Ireland, you will get access to Italian Serie A highlights and one Italian Serie A match per match day. Again, if you're based in the UK and Ireland, you get to stream one for free. So, make sure you download the OneFootball app for everything football. Link in the description. Download it now and enjoy. Let's get cracking. First game of the match day, Tunisia versus Australia. I mentioned Tunisia in my video earlier on. And because I was looking at how Morocco are going to do against Belgium tomorrow, and I've just noticed a little trend, and guilty as charged, I've noticed Algeria do this in the past. And I don't know why, and if it's a North African thing, if it's an Arab thing, because Saudi Arabia did it, we saw Qatar at times do it. It seems to be that sometimes the football can be quite fluent. Get into the final third would be amazing. And then there is space open for teammates. And whoever is on the ball, refuses to pass to that teammate and tries to be the hero. Happens way too many times. Tunisia today were victim of that. At too many occasions during that game, there could have been a ball squared or through ball or just a standard pass into the box to whoever was free. But the player on the ball chooses not to do that and tries to go for goal or tries to take a shot which is impossible to score from, or the defender's right in front of him and he just hits it anyway even though it's going to get blocked. I don't understand why. Australia grabbed themselves an early goal, and a good goal at that. Yes, the ball into the box took a deflection. Yes, the header into the bottom corner was going in at about 0.1 mile an hour. It wasn't the quickest header in the world, but the goalkeeper wasn't quick enough and he couldn't get to it. It was a great header, great goal, 1-0 to the Aussies, just like they did against France. The only difference is France took their chances when it came, and Tunisia didn't. And honestly, I'm very, very disappointed in Tunisia. I thought they were better than that. I really thought they were better than that. Now they have to perform an absolute miracle in the final game against France. And if they even think about showing up like they played today, they've got no chance. They might as well just come home now. They might as well. So Tunisia overall, very, very underwhelming. What we saw today was not what Tunisia can actually do. I'm very disappointed in them. And Australia, congratulations. Fair play. Absolute fair play to Australia and to the Aussies for a very, very good, solid performance. After the goal, they were concentrating on trying to defend, trying to be as solid as possible. Yes, they left themselves open at times that, again, the Tunisians should have taken advantage of, but they didn't. And Australia saw out the win, and it finishes 1-0. Congrats, Australia, weirdly enough, are actually in with a shout of qualifying to the last 16. Right now, as that group stands, it is, if I can get it up, France, Australia, Denmark, Tunisia. 6-3-1-1. Absolute scenes. Australia have to play Denmark, and Australia can afford to get a draw in that game. We're going to come to France, Denmark later, but Australia can afford to draw and go through to the last 16. France are already there. We'll talk about that later, as I've said. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But there we are. That's the first match. Congrats to the Aussies. I bet Australia right now are absolutely living it. I bet they've absolutely gone bonkers down under. We won't be seeing them tomorrow morning. They're all going to be in bed with very, very painful headaches. The next game, Poland versus Saudi Arabia. We all thought the dream would continue, didn't we? We all thought it would continue. And it's quite unfortunate that it didn't, because it was quite a replicate scenario that we saw from the Saudis to how they played against Argentina. First half, you saw that they didn't do as well as we know they can do. They were looking a little leggy, if we're being completely honest. And I did say this in the preview that there is a chance that Saudi will not do what they did against Argentina, because when you're playing at that level and you have players that are not at the highest level who perform a shock and they leave everything on the pitch, physically it's going to take its toll. To take that into the second game is very, 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 very difficult. When you go back in history and you look at all the teams that performed a shock, right? The little teams that no one expected to win in their first game, and they do. They almost never get a result in the second game. They almost never. Because they're not at the level to keep at that standard for 2 games straight. They're not. Saudi Arabia had chances though. This is the thing. They could have got something from this game. They really could have. But again, we go back to the point that I made about Tunisia. There were moments during that game where some of the Saudi players wanted to be the hero again, because 2 of them were the hero against Argentina. And they thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it here. And then I'm going to be a hero. That's not the way to think when you're at a tournament. You have to play for each other. Have to. Poland got underway with the first goal. And very, very messy defending. Very messy defending. The chance going over to the right-hand side of the box. Ball coming square again. And immediately, Zielinski has a massive opening to just whack it down the middle. And he makes it 1-0. We have a penalty given to Saudi Arabia, which was a penalty. Correct decision. Went to VAR. Corrected the initial no foul. Given a penalty. And it's missed. The rebound is saved. I mean, absolute scenes. But then from that point, there were chances where you'd think Saudi are going to score, surely. Poland had opportunities after that when they nearly went on the counter-attack twice and hit the bar and hit the post. And those were big, big warning signs. Saudi Arabia did still manage to come out in that second half, trying to do what they did against Argentina. And they, again, almost did, but too little, too late. A poor defensive mistake. Literally, I don't know what that was. A slip, a voluntary pass. He literally gives it to Lewandowski on the plate. It's like he's picked up the ball and he's gone, hey, Robert, here you go and score. And he nabs it from the defender and taps it in. 2-0. It's when you look at the heroics against Argentina, it's such a disappointing way to just let this game go, especially with a mistake like that in defence. It's not the way to do it. Anyway, 2-0 to Poland. Saudi Arabia now on 3 points. And this is getting tasty because Saudi are still in with a shout. We'll come to the Argentina game very, very shortly. Saudi Arabia, though, need to put their heads up. In order for them to make this now, they know that I think they need a draw. Or no, Argentina won, so now Saudi... Actually, no, Saudi are ahead. Well, that level with Argentina. So it's going to get interesting. Saudi Arabia play Mexico, Poland play Argentina. I'll get to that in a sec. Argentina, 2. Mexico, 0. And as predicted, I did say that Argentina struggled in that first game against Saudi Arabia. It can happen. It's one of those moments. As weird as this World Cup has been, surprises have been everywhere. Argentina, though, have too much quality to just let everything go by. And I did say that Mexico, who I know are inconsistent, they can be on, they can be off. Argentina are a team that I think will end up using that first loss as motivation and will go out and prove to everyone who Argentina actually are. And they done exactly that. First half, though, they didn't. Second half, they did. First half, as Roy Keane said in the punditry, Argentina looked like a championship team. And they did. With all due respect, yes, in the end they didn't, but in that first half they did. That first half was pretty dead. 0-0, pretty dead. Nothing happened. Argentina looking blank. And then the manager makes 2 substitutions, a tactical switch, a change of system, couple of minutes later, and it's in the bag. It's in the bag. Messi scores. When you give Messi that space, you give Messi an inch on the outskirts of the box, on the D, what do you think he's going to do? You know, it's like Hervé Renard for Saudi Arabia said in the dressing room. If you're not going to be pressing on Lionel Messi and you're going to be just watching in front of your defensive line and you're not going to be on him, well, you might as well just get your phone with you to the pitch and take a picture with him. It's true. Hervé Renard was completely spot on by saying that because this is the consequence. Mexico paid the consequence today. They gave Messi an inch. They did not press him and close him down. He got that space. He put it in the bottom corner. 1-0 Argentina. Well done, Mexico. Your fault. Your fault. Unfortunately, because I was starting to think after that first half that Mexico might cause a little bit of a shock. And then they give that space to Messi and he punishes them. Assist is from Di Maria. And then later on, as Mexico are trying to get something from the game, it just started to look like it was creeping away from them. Argentina's class began to show. Their confidence began to shine through. They started to play the football that we're used to Argentina playing, that we're used to seeing from them. And Fernandes with a fantastic goal. Messi passes to Fernandes. Fernandes, great piece of skill, cuts in and dinks it straight into the top corner. If there was a goalkeeper on the planet at a World Cup that you would expect to save that sort of shot, it would be Ochoa. Ochoa couldn't make it. Great shot, great finish, beautifully placed. 2-0 Argentina on the day. And again, going back to how that group stands, it means right now Argentina are sat below Poland. Poland on 4 points, Argentina on 3, Saudi Arabia on 3, Mexico on 1. Saudi Arabia have to play Mexico. Poland have to play Argentina. It's very tight as to who's actually going to go through here. Very, very tight. If Poland were to beat Argentina, for example, and Mexico were to beat Saudi Arabia, Mexico would go through. If Argentina were to beat Poland, Saudi Arabia would have to beat Mexico or... Yeah, they would have to beat Mexico. Very, very, very tasty and weird situation. Saudi Arabia and Mexico draw and Poland beat Argentina, Saudi Arabia will be going through. It's quite messy. Quite messy. So we'll wait and see. Well, funnily enough, ironically, it's messy. Yeah, we'll see how that group is going to end on the third match day. But credit to Argentina for coming back in that fashion, and they've now shown that maybe they might go far. We'll see. And to end, France versus Denmark. My prediction almost came through here. Almost. But the Danish don't know how to mark at the back post. You know, I said 1-1. I said France will look a little shaky. I said Denmark might have a chance. And Mbappe, basically. Mbappe. I have to say, the Danish let the French off the hook here, if I'm being completely real with you guys. I feel like it's just been handed to them on a plate today. And yes, France were not beautiful. But they were, I would say, slightly better than what I expected of them, but Denmark were not as good as I expected them to be. And Denmark throughout this tournament have looked a little weird. I thought by today against France, they would really, really show what they can do. And after they got the equaliser, I thought, okay, now we're talking. We don't see anything else from them. France go up 1-0 in the second half, courtesy of Mbappe. And when you give Mbappe that much space and time, and he manages to slot it in that fashion, what do you expect? Basically, what do you expect? It's a really, really worked goal, to be honest, between him and Theo Hernandez, and it's Theo Hernandez coming on the left-hand side. There's a little 1-2 between him and Mbappe. Theo Hernandez picks out Mbappe running back into the box, and Mbappe taps it in. Yes, it goes in with a deflection, but a goal's a goal. A goal's a goal. So that, I honestly thought that Denmark could have defended better. They could have closed him down better. You see Mbappe running into the box, keep a man on him. Don't just let him run in between 3 defenders. Do you know what I mean? And no one's doing anything about it. It's just, it's poor and it's slow defending, which Denmark normally are not like that. And even previously this year, when Denmark played France and they've beaten them twice, Denmark look much better in defence, especially by closing down a player like Mbappe. Come on, it's not rocket science to know that you have to close down Mbappe. Anyway, Denmark do get one back not too long afterwards with a great cross in by Eriksen. Christensen goes in with the header, and I'm very happy for Christensen, to be honest. I was happy for Christensen, and then Denmark lost. But great ball in. Christensen finds a space, he runs in, he headers it, and it's 1-1. And then at the end, literally the 86th minute, a ball, nice in-swinger into the box, I have to say. But again, the defending is shocking. You know you got Mbappe next to you. What are you doing? Allow him to run in behind you in that manner. And then he scores it with his thigh. He doesn't even kick it. He scores it with his thigh, and it crawls into the net. He taps it into the net with his thigh. I mean... It's 2 goals that could have been averted quite easily if you were concentrating. Denmark just did not look like they were concentrating hard enough. In defence, they weren't. And they paid the price. So my 1-1 prediction didn't come true. And France are now through. basically. I still look at this French team and I still see flaws. I don't think they're going to go far. But they've made it out the group. For credit to them. Fair play. They've done what they've had to do. I feel like Denmark could have done better and they've literally handed to them on the plate. So there we are. The group right now, as it stands, France on 6 points, Australia on 3, Denmark on 1, Tunisia on 1, which means France again are through to the last 16. Australia can get through to the last 16 if they get 1 point in their last game, whereas Denmark and Tunisia kind of need miracles right now. So, yeah, let's see if those miracles come. There we are. Let me know your thoughts on today's match day and all of the games taking place. Tomorrow's going to be a tasty one. Make sure you catch my preview to those if you haven't already. Make sure you click right here now. Now you're done with this video, and I will see all of you tomorrow to explain to you my thoughts on how it's all gone down. Anyway, thank you very much. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. See you then. Take care, and peace.